Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I am Rex.
It's
And
Boxing Day.
what the hell is Boxing Day?
On actual Christmas Day, the servants were serving all of the people for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then the day after Christmas, they all got the day off and got to have their own Christmas.
What do you do for your servants?
I let them watch Lord of the Rings, all 3 in a row, starting at 10 a.m.
So your children.
Yeah. No, I've actually held an annual Boxing Day gathering at my house every year.
I've never once been invited.
You totally have.
Never once.
You've even come to it once. And we had Lord of the Rings playing nonstop in the house, but it's come and go. Stay as long as you want, leave when you want.
Or was that your house?
It was my house.
Oh, I thought it was Andy's house.
Nope.
Fine.
You thought it was Andy's house. All right, so both of these are a gift from Gordon. I don't know if it's a Kagi or a Kagi.
All right, you yell a Kagi.
Okay.
I'll yell a Kagi.
Gordon Kagi, you magnificent bastard! Wow, these are. Can you work on that while I'm working on this one? These are like very well shrink wrapped.
Oh wow.
Let's start actually. Well, not with this one. Let's start with the one you opened. Whoa. Just now. So this is Woodinville. They're making their own stuff.
By the way, so the color on this.
I know.
Very, very dark.
They're making their own stuff.
Especially, red too when you hold it up to the light.
This is evidently a 5-year-old bourbon that they then transferred into tawny port casks for an additional 6 months.
Hold it up to
5
the light.
years
Look
old.
at that red. That's where the red
That's
comes
insane.
in. See the red?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that port. That's showing up for real.
So I'm kind of excited about this one. They made this. They're doing all this stuff themselves. You know who they consulted with?
Wow.
One guess.
Nancy Fraley.
No, Dave Pickerel.
Oh, okay. Right on.
So this is Orland Sorensen and Brett Carlisle.
Man, the nose on this, though. Are you kidding me with the nose?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, this might... Okay, so here's the thing.
The floralness of this honey.
Oh, man.
Intensely honey that is just interwoven with this floral note. It's beautiful.
It really is beautiful.
Yeah. And then there's like this sweetened tea leaves in that nose. Up high.
Yeah, the hint of that eucalyptus is still there.
And then I'm finding like a really nice sweet cherry.
Oh, God. Dude, this is port cask bourbon. This is... Okay, I was not planning on doing this, but I need to see if I can find our bottle of Angel's Envy.
Wow.
Because that's a port
And
cask.
it's a slow motion unfolding of these voluptuous flavors. Oily, clingy mouthfeel.
Okay,
Concentrated. What's the proof on this?
I can't believe I'm doing this, but...
It says, oh my Daniel. Did you see the proof?
90.
This is only 45%.
I know, it does not taste like it.
That is crazy.
Dude, these guys...
The level of flavor that you're putting in a pretty low proof.
Here's the thing. These guys have obviously sold their soul to the devil. Like, there's no question.
All right. Wow.
The devil's going to collect.
Right.
This is insane.
You know what, though?
Okay, I'm going to pour it because remember, this is Kentucky Bourbon Angel's Envy port cask finished, right?
Okay. Yes, another port cask finish.
So I just want to see
Sure.
if... Because I've always thought Angel's Envy was the prettiest bourbon I'd ever tried until this moment.
Okay.
And here's the thing. It still is pretty. And notice it has all the same notes.
What's the proof on that?
43.3.
I find much more richness and vibrance.
Yes, so if you want Angel's Envy turned up 30%.
Yeah.
With the same direction of flavors.
Mostly, yeah. Mostly.
There's a little more eucalyptus in this one than there is in the Angel's Envy.
At 45, if this is just that, it doesn't ever get aggressive or hard, right? But it does get loud, voluminous.
Wait a minute.
This is a voluminous whiskey.
This is Woodinville, Washington, the state of Washington.
Washington.
No, you know what's funny is in Oregon and Washington, there are quite a few distilleries that I think are doing God's work up there. Mm-hmm. Like I think if I had to pick an area of the U.S.
Right.
that continuously makes some of my favorite whiskey,
right.
It's Oregon, Washington. It's the Northwest, Pacific Northwest. Westland.
Oh,
right?
Westland, yeah, Westland.
Who is it who makes the Emerald? That Irish whiskey that's not from Ireland, it's from Oregon,
you know
right?
what?
Like over and over, the Pacific Northwest is kicking ass.
Yeah, I think they have enough like real impressive whiskeys coming out of is that the Pacific Northwest?
Yes.
The Pacific Northwest, I think, has enough quality coming out of there and uniqueness
Pacific Northwest
I think it should
has
be,
arrived.
I think it should be a whiskey region that is considered independently as its own thing going on.
I totally agree. And not
Yeah.
by state, but by the area,
Pacific
Pacific
Northwest.
Northwest.
Yeah.
Basically, the whiskey you would have got to consume if you had completed the Oregon Trail ever.
If you hadn't have
and
died.
died of smallpox, then you would have been able to have this.
Oh, the oiliness, though, right? On that nose especially.
Okay, but there's a second whiskey here.
Oh, I'm telling you right now. This poor bastard has no shot. Just looking at the color, the nose coming off of this, the flavor. Oh, and I don't want to, so going back to this one more time, I don't want to completely gloss over the fact of how much wood bitterness is on that finish.
Yeah.
It's just a layer it's underneath everything the whole time, and then that's the thing that just stays with
But
you.
it's more subtle than I
for a
ever thought a
long
wood
time.
finish was capable of being.
But it's definitely there. You do
No,
get
it's definitely there.
that tannic buzz.
But it doesn't obliterate the finish.
No, it doesn't. It's nicely balanced against these beautiful, oily, rich, voluminous flavors.
All right, they call this a double barrel blended whiskey, and I think that's just because they're being so hardcore about the legal terminology. But from what I read, what it is they took a bourbon, their bourbon,
Right.
and then after they took it out of new oak and put it into used oak and let it age a little longer,
Okay.
and then they bottled it.
We should have started with this.
It's more classic.
Well, it's so much more friendly and sweet and easy. I'm on the nose still, but I'm getting gleamings of like an Irish whiskey, sweet, savory note, a little bit of a Canadian whiskey in there.
Yeah, I'm
like
almost
the
getting like
soft-
that
the
vanilla,
soft caramel vanilla,
what's the vanilla dessert chart at the top?
creme brulee.
Creme brulee.
Now, this is why it's possibly not fair because we just came off the heels of this.
That's
bad
that
boy.
port finish.
I would want to come back. I would want to circle back someday and see what this is, just straight out of the
Straight out of the
gate,
gates.
not coming off the heels of that thing.
Oh, that's so vanilla. That is so vanilla. Especially compared to the dark fruit.
Oh man! And then it's almost. Am I getting like? What is this wood note? Is that like a hickory? There's some type of special, unique, interesting wood note that's not just the stereotypical oak. It's like this char is in this wood so much so that it's the kind of things. It's the smell of walking through the Ozarks. That's the taste.
Yeah, that musty,
Right.
damp but deep wood note.
It's the Ozarks.
Wow.
And then you also have this vanilla sweetness, this soft caramel that's kind of akin to Irish, kind of Canadian, but you have this wood character in there that keeps it interesting. Damn, I'm really liking this
Look,
distillery.
these guys
Yeah.
have...
Wow.
I mean, this is going to turn into a fan video.
Well,
this is like...
And I do want to circle back to this fresh because I think
never...
Woodinville.
I never looked at this. And so, you've got all these bottles. You look at the labels, and you think, oh, who knows? I looked at these, and when we originally got them, I was like, oh, a Washington whiskey. All right, we'll see.
You know what this is doing? This has mass market flavors that are just so down the middle of the home plate. It's like, yeah, I've been there and done that scores of times with mass market big brands, but there is that heaviness with the wood char
That the other ones did lack.
that the other one's lacking. It
Yeah,
makes
there's depth to
it
it.
gives a presentation of those flavors that are perfectly enjoyable and nice and friendly,
Yes.
but they're just so common that it's kind of hard to get excited about it. This has those flavors, but it's presented with this base of
You know what it reminds me of?
charred Ozark walking through a forest wood.
I know these guys came later, but it's almost like all the other versions of these flavors are like a cassette tape copy.
Okay.
But this is the original vinyl.
Ah, I see.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, and so here you're getting what those flavors were meant to be originally.
And again, this is a relatively low proof. This
Yeah.
is 40%, 43% ABV.
Son of a bitch.
Wow. That is impressive
Woodinville.
to have that much nuance coming out of that.
I don't,
low-
I
low
don't know what to
ABV.
say. I think I'm at the mood of Washington.
All right, so this.
I'm going to hang out with Westland. I'm going to go to Woodinville. That's a trip.
Clams McGee.
Like that.
You guys should do an episode on how to day drink without getting an alcohol dependence.
Here's how you day drink without alcohol dependence. You don't night drink.
You don't night drink, and also you don't drink that much.
Yeah, so I've only had a few frustrating byproducts of my current life.
Yeah.
The distillery and the channel, which
Yeah.
is going out to drink at night no longer is a thing. Like when I get home, it used to be I'm going to go home, I'm going to pour a whiskey,
Right.
I'm going to relax. These days, for the last 4 years, I get home and someone's like, hey, let's have some whiskey. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I started at 10 a.m. this morning. I'm over it already.
And it's not like you ever get to sit back and really just soak in and relax with that whiskey.
You're either performing or you're doing it for work. Like what we're analyzing.
And
we need to do this shit. We're executing. We're not just sitting back.
Hold on. So just a quick moment. We are acknowledging that we're whining and complaining about being in an incredibly privileged position.
Yes.
We get that. But we're talking about
I wouldn't trade
the fact that the quantities that we enjoy, we constantly are getting accused of, you guys are just totally drunk, you're wasted, you're annihilated.
Dude, if you could see
These
the
guys-
pile of glassware at the end of a video shoot, it's like anywhere from 6 to 12 glasses that all have whiskey in them.
Right, we've said this before. We're not drunk. We
No.
are organically immature.
Yeah.
It's just our default state.
No, I actually have an Austin Police Department breathalyzer because I'm always curious at the end of a shoot, where am I landing? And I've never been more than half of the legal limit.
Yeah. And,
At the end of a shoot.
In the alcohol dependence, I mean, that's something we take seriously. We do.
It is very much
dry
so.
weeks 4 times a year just to make sure that, as much as we aren't reaching for that at every opportunity, we still don't want anything to creep up on us.
Yeah.
And people that enjoy this channel, it's important to us that you guys are always keeping in your mind that this is a substance that can become a very negative influence, a toxic, dependence issue that we don't want to have happen for you. So you keep an eye on it. Elk Michael Drought. Rex, you need to get one of those kitty harnesses for Daniel so when he walks to go exploring, you can pull the little hobbit back to you. They come in your size, too.
I pictured that and I started laughing. And that's why that was in there.
That's funny. That's very funny.
Well, this one went a little bit long. Otherwise, we could do some more
We
comments.
didn't
but-
add any water to it.
Because it was so... It's already 90. It's 45.
I get credit for remembering. That's all I can do.
Look. Okay, fine. Which one is your fruity one? Because that's the one I want to add water.
Still really good. Some of those flavors get thinned out, though.
Yeah, the whole thing thins out, and then it gets a little barrel bitter at the end.
Yeah, the barrel
I think
does...
they picked the right proof.
Everything thins out a little except that barrel note.
Yeah.
Here's the fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
You steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.